Why the thimble?
So now that keeps the leather from building up when you go around corners.
Yes. Yeah, this is going to wrap around the barrel.
Yeah.
And then this is the piece that's wrapping inside, and then this bottom part's the one that wraps around to the bottom barrel, to the long tube at the bottom.
For the life of me, I don't know why you don't cut through.
The feel. The leather there's different layers to it, and I mean, if you look at the edge, you almost can see the surface is a different texture than the middle and the back side. So as the knife's cutting through, you can actually feel by the pressure and the sensation through the knife, you can feel which layer you're in, and then just vary your pressure. I mean, believe me, it took me years and years of practice to get to the point where I could do this at this, and it's not unusual to ruin a piece of leather by going in the right place or the wrong place with it. But you can feel when you're going down like this, you can feel when the blade has reached down into the next layer below, and you know at that point you want to change the angle and stop pushing the blade further down in, and then just turn it so it goes out.
You can see why in some cases people had to apprentice for a long period of time in order to develop the skills and make it practical, so they didn't have too much waste and waste of time.
Well, there was that, and it was how you taught them. Most of the apprentice systems, though, it took them far longer than they needed to.
Almost like getting a PhD.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, at least in the apprentice systems with skills, they could have moved them through a great deal faster than they actually were.
Yeah.
Most of them, from what I understand, you might be an apprentice for 10 years. As far as actually learning it, you might. Well, it was cheap labor, is what it was. The apprentices were basically free slave labor to the journeymen and the masters, and that's why it was so long to be an apprentice. Once they got good enough, though, or old enough, or whatever have you, and you couldn't hold them back anymore, then they would make them a journeyman and let them go on their way. But until then, and unfortunately, the idea of why the guilds was created is sort of the same thing like our modern unions. It's a great idea, they were necessary, but after a time, the reason for their existence was their own perpetuation, not doing the job they were created for. And at which point they became a detriment, and that's pretty much why the guild system was outlawed in the United States.